Hello, my name's Sabrina Wayneth and I'm a psychotherapist. Welcome to my video on how to undo overwhelm. The Dalai Lama says that when we encounter problems, our tendency is to narrow our outlook, and that's actually the core piece in overwhelm. Usually as life gets busier and busier and our to-do lists get longer and longer, we go into this frantic doing mode where we become very narrow in our focus and our outlook, and we lose any sense of expansion or expansiveness or ease. And usually that doing mode then results in more and more tension. We don't want to stop because we're convinced we can't really relax until we've achieved more, which keeps the cycle going until at some point we tend to collapse in some sort of exhaustion, or we just can't face it anymore, and then it'll sort of take another turn where there's also a sort of sense of overwhelm, but more with a sense of paralysis or feeling frozen or not being able to get out of bed. So in order to stop the cycle from taking root, the best defense is definitely a good offense here. So the Dalai Lama himself has said that the busier he gets, the more he meditates. And that's basically the key. For the cycle not to take root, you actually have to create a foundation in your life where it doesn't allow for overwhelm, because you've got enough routines or daily rituals that stop the overwhelm from being able to take hold. It doesn't have to be meditation, but there definitely need to be rituals or routines that are non-negotiable. So not things that you have to arm and arm, am I going to do them today or not, do I have time, do I have energy? They just happen. So in an ideal world they become like brushing teeth, where they're just part of your daily routine and they're not questioned. In terms of the rituals for the mind, it's really about taking 10 to 30 minutes each day, ideally at the same time of day, so it just becomes something that just happens, to focus on something. Some of you may already have a meditation practice. That's fantastic. If you're interested in meditation and don't know anything about it, this is a really useful book. It's called Mindfulness, A Practical Guide to Finding Peace in a Frantic World. It comes with a CD with 8 different kinds of meditations, body scans and mindfulness of thoughts and sounds, and so a really useful one. It's basically an 8-week program teaching you mindfulness and meditation in daily life, so a great place to start. I'm not an affiliate, so I don't make any money if you order the book. It's by Mark Williams and Danny Penman, so that's one option. Another option, if you're more into hypnosis and want to give that a try, then this is Paul McKenna's book. It's called Control Stress, Stop Worrying and Feel Good Now. Also comes with the CD. It's really the CD that I'm recommending rather than the book. Hypnosis is a little bit like guided meditations, but the CD actually works really well. So they've got sort of different audio sounds, so sounds coming from the left or right and the voice coming from the left or right, and it is helpful if you like that kind of thing, sort of lulling you into a calmer state. And it's something that you can just stick onto your iPhone or whatever you have and press play when you need it. And the other option would be questioning your thoughts. So if you notice, oh, I was getting a tailspin with my thoughts, then a good thing to do 10 to 30 minutes each day would be to do the questioning your thoughts exercise. It's called The Work. The book's called Loving What Is, 4 Questions That Can Change Your Life. It's by Byron Katie. She's got a great website as well. I think it's called thework.com. So that's another option if you're not into meditation or hypnosis. In terms of rituals for the body, the obvious one is obviously exercise. Overwhelm tends to have 2 faces or 2 sides of a coin, the first being the anxiety side, which can then collapse into the depression side. Now both anxiety and depression, the evidence overwhelmingly suggests that exercise is really helpful in treating them. So get your exercise in. Choose something that resonates for you or that works for you, that's fun for you. exercise, well, I'm a big believer that exercise should be pleasurable, otherwise you will not want to do it again. If it feels too excruciating, too painful, usually you'll do it for a short stint and then it'll fall off the radar. So if you hate running and have never liked running, never been a good runner, then do not force yourself to run. Choose something that's relatively easy for you or doable for you, and I'd say 3 to 4 times a week is a really great routine that's manageable, that you can keep doing no matter what. If exercise isn't a great option for you, try and do something else for the body. Juicing is an obvious other one. Chris Carr, whose website is www.crazysexylife.com, is a guru on juicing. Her cancer diagnosis has meant that she's explored that and is revolutionising the world with her green juicing recipes. So check out that website if you're interested. So what about daily rituals for the spirit? This is obviously a more personal one, so do what works for you, whether you call it praying, whether you call it affirmations, whether you call it mantras. I'm personally a big fan of the praying one, not necessarily praying in the religious sense of the word. It's more, I think, about taking time out to acknowledge that the me, the ego me, is not in control of things. So it's really more of an attempt to surrender and let go. I think the more that we can accept things as they are, the more relaxed we are, the happier we are, and the more things flow. So rather than praying for certain objects or certain things to happen or not happen, something like "Thy will be done" is a really useful prayer. You know, who's thy? You know, some people think of that as God, as the trees outside, Mother Earth, divine energy, cosmic forces, fate, whatever works for you. It's really more about letting go, and you can often feel it in your body, where there's a relaxation or an ease that comes with not holding on quite so tightly, not wanting to control quite so tightly. A lovely prayer is the one that they use in the 12-step programs, the serenity prayer. So, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I hope that's helpful. I've written a blog post on it if you haven't seen that already on my website, www.sabrinaweymouth.com. Thanks so much for listening and watching.